Hello, everyone. This is Tom LaGreca, Executive Director of Medical Revenue Recovery at Callagy Law. It is Saturday, Saturday of Easter weekend, and it is Passover, and we are on the threshold of Ramadan. So there is no better time, as far as I'm concerned, than now to do this video. On the video, we have Callagy, who is who heads up our personal injury office in Jersey City.
I think Tom froze.
Oh, it's Tom that froze?
You frozen?
Frozen. Oh, no.
Frozen. Well, I guess I will say hello, everybody, and happy Easter, Passover, Ramadan. I hope everybody is safe and well out there, and our honor and salute to all the first responders and nurses and doctors and ENTs and all the first responders out there. And it's a pleasure and an honor to be with all of these people that you see on the screen, Raj and Nick. And I guess we're waiting for a moment for Tom to come back on. In the meantime, as Tom said, I'm Hala Jaludi with Callagy Law, and I head the personal injury department. And it is an absolute honor for me to be doing this video. I'll turn it over to Raj. Raj, maybe you can introduce yourself.
Certainly. My name is Rajat Bharadwaj. I work in the Workers' Compensation Department. I'm an attorney as well at Callagy Law. And I just want to ditto everything that Hala is saying. We are so grateful for the work that the first responders and everyone in the healthcare industry is doing right now. The efforts that Nick and the entire team is making is just so important. We are sending meals to as many hospitals and healthcare workers as possible. And the morale boost that we're seeing, the gratefulness from their side and receiving these meals, seeing that there's food when they go to their break rooms has, I think, been spectacular. And we just want to support Nick Champagne and the hospitality group as much as possible. So thank you, Nick. Thank you everyone making these efforts. And we hope everything we can to support you.
And I just want to say, you know, Nick Champagne, what he is doing and what he has done is absolutely amazing. He's a real hero in every sense of the word. I am amazed. You know, I think it was about a week and a half ago that I saw it on Facebook, and I was like, wow, I can't say enough. But I think we have Tom back on. So
Yeah.
Tom,
What the
there. Okay.
What the heck was that? Sorry, guys.
Yeah, well, I just said hello, and Raj did as well. So I'll turn it over to you to give a proper introduction to the one and only Nick Champagne, because what he has done is so amazing.
Yes, and I'm sorry, everyone, including my co-panelists. I don't know what happened with that, but these things do happen, apparently. Yes, I just want to say, Nick, I don't know where you guys lost me, but I think I introduced Hala. You probably heard that. I introduced Raj. You probably heard that. And we have a special guest, Nick Champagne, who is a very successful businessman in the hospitality space. And Nick, I hope that's a fair characterization of your business. It may sell it short, and my apologies if it does. And Nick has started this incredible charity, perfectly in line with the needs of our healthcare community. So we wanted to get Nick on to share what's going on with his efforts to get not only masks, but food also to our healthcare workers in hospitals. The goal of this video, I think, is twofold. Number one, to make the healthcare community aware of Nick's efforts so that people can contribute financially if they want. Some of their colleagues who are on the front lines, not all of them are. So maybe those who aren't on the front lines can do some level of contribution to help those who are on the front line. And the second goal, I think, is to reach out to all of the people we know in the healthcare community to please let us know if they know the appropriate people for Nick's organization to reach out to in the hospital world so that he can get PPE, food to the hospital personnel that need it most. You can't go into this, obviously, randomly. There are protocols to be followed and correct personnel to be in touch with. So we hope all of you out there who get this will reach out to either myself or Hala or Raj or Nick directly to get him the appropriate people to speak to so he can do what he is so terrifically prepared to do. So having said that, I've spoken enough. My apologies if I spoke too long, but here is Nick Champagne.
Thank you, Tom and Hala and everyone, Raj, for the kind words. I appreciate it. Yeah, what we're doing with hospitality, and as you see, the hospital is capitalized in that. We wanted to put together some funds and serve meals initially at the hospitals to the ERs and ICUs, because these are the healthcare workers on the front line who are risking their own safety to take care of everyone who's affected by the COVID crisis. That being said, it was twofold. In addition to what Tom mentioned, to support restaurants and hospitality-based small businesses that remained open during this challenging time. A lot of my friends either own, manage, or work in hospitality in restaurants or other hospitality venues, and it's a very challenging time for them. Most have closed because they just financially could not operate. The ones who are operating, for the most part, are generally doing it to serve. They're not doing it to turn a profit. And if they are able to turn a profit, God bless, but they're doing it more to serve people because people need to eat, but also to, donate or match or sell at cost meals to the front line as well. So we wanted to raise funds to support their efforts, to help them keep the lights on, to help them keep jobs as well, and also to support the healthcare industry. So, that about a week and a half ago has blossomed into something beautiful. Aside from many donors who have generously donated funds that we've been deploying, to over 1,000 healthcare workers thus far, and that's ramping up every day starting with Manhattan, but now in the 5 boroughs in New Jersey and Rockland County. We just recently brought somebody on to start in LA as well. And as of today, right about now, actually 12:30 Eastern, the first delivery is going out to a hospital in Brooklyn, Maimonides, that is 120 meals that's matched with 120 KN95 masks. So we have commitments from partners of ours and supporters that will be donating some PPE to match the meals that we're sending out. We have several food partners, which is fantastic. It helps a great deal logistically with the deliveries. Now, through our contacts and the help of many others, we're in good with the shift managers and the charge nurses for scheduling at all of these ERs and ICUs, that it's very flawless getting there. As we all spoke earlier, it's great to be able to serve food to these healthcare workers that are working long shifts. They're seeing, many different varieties of trauma to, unfortunately death, not to be grim or paint a bad picture, but that's the reality of what's happening here. So without focusing on that, what can we do to help? And by sending these meals, it's putting a smile on these workers' faces. It's giving them some, bit of a morale boost during a challenging time and helping them get through those long shifts. Also, it's helping when they don't have the time or they're not even thinking about ordering food like they normally would during their normal shifts. It's just there waiting for them. So it could be something that's easy like pizza, or it could be something that's, healthier and more nutritious, like some of the food prep partners that we have that are delivering meals. So that's the gist of it. This coming week, I think by the end of the week, we'll more than likely be in the position that all of the meals we send out will be matched with masks. There's a bit of, logistic planning that goes behind that. So we're working out all those details. But Tom, going back to what you said, it's really, getting the supply chain between the, I guess the funds coming in to the food partners going out to the hospitals receiving, and then throwing in the masks as well. It's getting that to be a well-oiled machine, and we're just about there. We're scaling up. We've sent out over 1,000 meals. We're sending out another 500 or 600 this weekend, and by midweek, I think we'll be up to about 500 a day.
So
I'm sorry, Hal.
No.
Yes. So one of the important things to note, and you just touched on it, Nick, is a lot of times very well-intentioned people want to do something to help, and they don't do it following the protocols that are required and other things, so that it actually can become more of a hassle for the recipients because the protocols aren't being followed. So it's very, very important what you just said, that we get a hold of the right people to coordinate this with on the hospital side, because you can't just randomly in this environment send things like food to an ER and expect it to be welcomed, because the protocols may not have been met. I'm sure there has to be certain cleanliness and other things met in order to make this work properly.
Well, it's safety and cleanliness for one, but I can give you an example of that. So I actually live on First Avenue in Manhattan, right on the whole kind of hospital corridor of NYU and Bellevue and the VA hospital, Beth Israel, a couple New York Presbyterian hospitals that are up and down the block. And, seeing ambulances constantly go up and down the block and increasing the past couple of weeks. Fortunately, the past couple of days, that's slowed down a bit, which is nice. But I wanted to help. And this was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So I sent a few pizzas to, one of the hospitals through Seamless, anonymously. And to your point, they were rejected by security,
Right.
and that wasn't for safety and cleanliness. That was just because, and it was a well-known pizzeria through Seamless, but they didn't know who they were going to. So it was rejected, and the driver called me and said, "Who are these going to?" And I said, "Well, I don't really know. It was an anonymous donation." So
Right.
we kind of, that was the first failed attempt, right? We went back to the drawing board and said, okay, anonymously is not going to work because of safety and security. That's fine. We'll do it, in this public way, and we'll do it the proper way with planning, with, again, the charge nurses and the schedulers and the shift managers and things of that nature. So I have a couple friends in that industry who've been very, very helpful, that, have made this possible at the start to get through to those people instead of just cold calling or showing up with food, which a lot of people are doing, and it's certainly appreciated, but I don't know that that's such a great thing because of what you referenced. Certain foods are not ideal for the ERs, right?
Right.
Either because they're not convenient enough or they're not individual enough, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So Nick, I think, what is really beautiful about what you're doing is in the process, you're helping sort of not just the nurses and doctors and people that are working in the ER, but also the people in hospitality, the restaurants. So to give them a little bit of business too. And that's amazing. And just for those people out there who, are just tuning in, this is, to put it again in simple terms, for those people who want to help in some way during this crisis but don't know how, you're helping right there to the people who need it most by sending them food, nurses, doctors, people that are tired and overworked, and at the same time you're helping the restaurateurs. If Nick, you could just tell us, when you started a couple of weeks ago, where you're at now, how much have you raised, and if people want to donate, what do they do, where do they go?
Great. Yeah. So we started just a little over a week ago. We launched a GoFundMe. In the first day, we raised about 5,000, which was great. Just through, friends and my peers and business associates and things like that. I think at this point, we're somewhere around 13,000 that we've raised so far. And it was my intention to partner very quickly with a 501c3, which we have not yet. We're in talks with 3 or 4 that should be finalized by Monday. That being said, even now before that, 100% of the proceeds go directly to the cause, minus the GoFundMe fee that more than likely I'm going to cover myself anyway. So yeah, we're at about 13,000. To, kind of put out there what the future looks like, we have several larger donors who are going to either match our efforts or make larger contributions, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, whatever that may be, that I told them to hold off until we do have the 501c3. So 1, they can donate directly through a wire and not pay the fee. 2, they'll get the recognition letter that it's going directly to the 501c3 and not to GoFundMe. It's been growing every day. We've been doing probably at least $1,000 or $1,500 or $2,000 a day, which is nice. There's a lot of people that are stepping up and contributing. I want to thank all of them. I've gotten to some of them personally, not all. That will come later. But in addition to donating, sharing is very important. Spreading the message to the point. I know just about all of the donors, or someone that has joined our team knows them personally. What I really would like to do is have this go viral so that, the person who's in a state that's fortunately not dealing with this sees this and says, oh, I want to help a hospital that's in, New York or the New York area, or it could be any geographical location or region that we're servicing.
You're
Right now,
helping hospitals in New Jersey as well.
yeah, right now we're servicing Manhattan and the 5 boroughs, Rockland County, and several counties in New Jersey. We're increasing New Jersey. What we like to do is we have team members that are raising funds for specific hospitals. And then, we're taking some money out of the general fundraise to match them as well. And then, we're looking for people that want to raise for specific hospitals as well. We'll facilitate the meals. We have some local restaurants and we have some food prep companies. So it's a combination. We're doing whatever fits. We're mixing it up. Listen, pizza's great. We all love pizza, I think, but one, like anything else, the same thing every day or twice a day gets really old very quick. Second, it's, as much as we like to deny this, it's not the healthiest of food options. So, we have some meal prep companies that have been fantastic. They have healthy meals, a protein and a rice or something like that, or a vegetarian meal. It's everything's individually packaged. They're fantastic. So, they've been great partners of ours. So that's been Served Natural and Eat Clean Bro, which is based in New Jersey. They've both been a great help. They've been, donating meals. They've been matching meals. They've been dropping their prices to accommodate, what we're looking to do to send as many meals as possible and help as many healthcare workers as possible. So, that's really great. That's where we're at.
How much does a meal cost, Nick?
So we've gotten, our deal with any of the restaurants is that, we want to get the cost down to us to somewhere between $2.50 and $5. $2.50-ish, $2.50, $3 is generally when it's the pizza side of things. And, between $4 and $5 is generally the meal prep cost.
So in a donation of $100 to $100 is going to be able to buy meals for a good number of people.
Correct. So just to put that in perspective, I mean, simple math. Someone donates a simple $25 donation, you're feeding at least 5 hospital workers. With, about $200 or $300, you can feed, a small emergency room or ICU in some hospitals. Most of the size of the orders that we're sending out are generally between 80 and 120 people. So again, if you do the math, that's generally between $400 and $600 of a contribution. We've had several people that have made $400, $500, $600 contributions that are feeding either specific hospitals, emergency rooms, or ICUs because they know somebody there, or they're just telling us, give it to whoever needs it most. And that's what we're deploying.
That's just beautiful, amazing work, beautiful work.
Yeah, then
Raj, did
I'll
you?
just touch on the mask match for a second.
Yes.
We, a couple of people raised the question of, is food really that important to these frontline workers when there's other things like masks and other personal protective equipment that is scarce in certain areas? And, my answer was they're both important. I believe they're equally important. Obviously, equipment is important for safety, and food is important for health and energy, right? Food has also shown to be very effective for morale boosting. We've received several text messages from doctors, nurses, other healthcare workers, and their shift managers that these workers are very, very happy, and they look forward to this every day. Not just our efforts, but the efforts of other people that are doing similar initiatives. That it just gives them something to look forward to, and it takes their mind off of a lot of the trauma that they're seeing, and those down moments. It gives them a little boost, a little time to at least see their coworkers in a more positive setting, whether it's for 5 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever the case is. But I believe that goes a long way. It goes a long way to get them through the day or their shift. A lot of them are working extra shifts, double shifts, and quite frankly, I think, many of the ones who will come in contact closely with this virus, I believe that, it will help get them through that as well, because mindset is important. Getting through this is not just about physical, disease or illness. It's more about the mindset behind it.
Absolutely.
We were mentioning right before this video how for the first time in both New York and New Jersey, hospitals are taking in less patients than they're sending out. And it seems like there's no better time right than now to kind of maintain the morale of the healthcare workers in hospitals. And this is like a small way, I guess, that we can all contribute, that we can contribute, that our viewers can contribute. Because we are all in this together, and I feel like we're all going to come out of this together.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Nick, let me mention, there's also a word, at least on the news apparently, that the Northeast was one of the first areas to get hit and is now peaking. And other parts of the country are going to start to peak now that New York and New Jersey are somewhat turning a corner in a good way.
That's a great point, Tom. And to your point, of course, Manhattan and New York City are the hardest hit right now. New Jersey is probably not that far behind. And being that we have this initiative in both of those areas primarily, we're creating something that's fairly reasonable and easy to duplicate. And the unfortunate reality is that many states or areas in certain states are likely to deal with this challenge, especially the more densely populated cities and states. So we are happy to discuss with others in different areas who want to get involved and raise funds in their areas. And, we can work with the local restaurants or the local food prep, meal prep companies to help them out as well, and kind of use our template or our platform, whatever the case may be.
And you touched about the importance of food, and I know now that you're doing masks, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But Tom, you have people that are very close to you that are in the ER. So what do they say about receiving a hot meal? From the people out there? How important is that in their day?
Yes, it's interesting you asked that, Hala, because as Nick mentioned, I was one of the people when I first heard about this that said, hey, do they need food? It seems like we should look into what the need might be, and do they really need food? So, I contacted, my sister is an ER nurse, and I have two nieces that are nurses, and I reached out to them yesterday to say, hey, what about this food stuff? And they said they were like so encouraging about how great it is that in the lounges, they at any time, 24/7, they can go into the lounge and there's food available because so many of them are just working straight through and don't give any thought for food. So it really is a terrific morale booster that they can go to the lounge anytime and there's a hot meal in there somewhere or food for them to get. And it's very much appreciated. Very
Yeah,
much.
and I think
Thank you
it sends
for
a message
that
that
insight, Tom. We, you know, it's nice to hear that from various different angles, right? We've heard that as well from a lot of the people that we're dealing with, and you know, especially not at specific lunch or dinner times, right? Those overnight shifts and those random hours, we're scheduling some of them as well, and many of them are, you know, texting us or writing us in some, you know, means of communication that you know, it's such a nice surprise because they're not on the typical lunch or dinner time. So we're taking that into consideration as well.
and Nick, what's so amazing about this, you know, you started this project with sending meals, but now it has evolved and morphed into something greater because you have masks and PPE, and you know, talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, definitely. It was in line with what Tom just referenced about, you know, some people raising the question whether food was important or masks and other PPE being important. And you know, we have several people that are working on the supply chain with PPE, masks, gowns, face shields, hand sanitizer, all of these things, and they're supplying, you know, generally municipalities or states or cities or you know, various different entities, fire departments, police departments, etc. All of these entities in especially larger cities like New York are in need of this PPE. So, you know, a lot of them are friends and they say, listen, we're doing these big deals. We have, you know, hundreds of thousands or millions of pieces coming in, you know, and it's, you know, we're selling them for a fair price. We're helping the supply here, but we're happy to donate some to you for your cause. So we're just starting to ramp that up today, Monday. And, you know, the goal is by the end of next week, I think that, you know, as long as we could get the logistics leveled off, we will be matching every meal with a mask. We're going to launch the hashtag meals and masks so that, you know, we create some awareness that way. You know, we'll have photos when possible. You know, photos are great. It shows what we're doing. It shows where the money's going. It's, you know, it's creating awareness. It's not the most important thing being in an emergency situation. You know, sometimes the drops are quick, depending on how busy these ERs are at that moment or these ICUs at that moment. So, you know, we're very sensitive to that. And, you know, as our, you know, everyone on our team is sensitive to that for sure. But we're going to continue to add whatever we can in terms of PPE. We have someone who offered face shields that they're making with 3D printers, which, you know, it's amazing the level of technology that's involved right now. But, you know, they're ramping up their production. They want to donate to the hospitals. They don't know how. So they're coming to us and we're just either putting them direct. You know, it's great that it's coming from us and our efforts, but it's not about that. It's about the ease of use. So we're just, you know, we're running it by the individual hospital. If they're interested in that, we're just having them shipped direct. And, you know, that's serving a purpose as well.
And again, just want to mention for people who are just tuning in, you know, what's going on here. Nick Champagne has started this unbelievable, selfless project in terms of helping in this crisis by sending food and PPE, masks, whatever is needed to hospitals in the New York, New Jersey area and beyond. You know, please, if you're listening, this is such a good cause. If you don't know how to help, this is the way you can help by either donating or, you know, you said sharing, logistics are involved. If people are just tuning in, again, Nick, and want to donate, want to help in some way, tell them where to go.
And Hala, I just want to add, it seems like everybody is winning in the situation. The hospitals win, the restaurants that are sending these meals win, and of course, the general public wins as the morale is boosted of the hospital workers.
Thanks, Raj.
Yeah.
So, Hala, to answer your question, right now it's just on GoFundMe. It's hospitality. There's a link that we can post on all of your social that goes directly to that page. Or if you go to GoFundMe and you just click on hospitality or search hospitality, you'll see that.
Yep, there it is on the screen.
I think this week we'll probably get some sort of landing page that's easier, because that GoFundMe is a clickable link on the PDF. So if you go to that, it'll say unknown. If you type in hospitality, you'll find it quickly. But
So
we're again,
GoFundMe
things are work in progress.
hospitality.
So we're making the ease of use a lot more simple in the coming days.
Excellent.
Okay.
Mhm. I'm sorry, Tom, did you want to say something?
No, Hala, go ahead. Go ahead.
So Nick, you mentioned that when you started this and it quickly, a lot of people got involved. Some organizations and friends of yours have partnered up. How has the response been?
The response has been incredible. There's so many people that want to help. A couple of people are on this Zoom right now. I'm sure there's some people on the lives that have, either donated funds or donated meals or helped logistically or have been referring people, helped with coordination. It's all greatly appreciated. And there's, a long list of people that are, offering various different things. So if anyone has any way, they want to contribute in some way, they're not sure how, they want to make a sizable donation. They don't want to put it through GoFundMe. They want to, suggest a restaurant or meal prep company to work with. They can send an email to hospitality@Status Luxury Group, STATUSLUXURYGROUP.com. And someone on my team will answer that. And, we're fielding a lot of requests, actually. So to answer your question, the response has been fantastic. Really grateful with everyone who's contributing. And, like I said, this is a work in progress. So it's a continuous effort.
Yeah. And what I love about this is, this is an effort and a project, and the help, if you want to donate, if you want to do something, the help is immediate. They're getting the meal, and the help not 6 months from now, but today, this week, the equipment that they need. So it is direct help, a direct straight line to where it's needed the most, to the heroes out there, the doctors, the nurses, the first responders. So, what a beautiful way to help. Again, if you're out there and you don't know what to do, go to GoFundMe, click hospitality, and every little donation counts.
Thank you, Hala. So yeah, I mean, just to go back, when we started this, I put a goal of 5,000 on the GoFundMe because I didn't know how people were going to be receptive to it or whatever the case. We hit that in one day. I raised it to 10. We passed 10 earlier this week. I just raised it to 25 yesterday, and the number's not important to me as long as the funds keep coming in to support the efforts. We can ramp up the efforts. If the funds continue to support, like I said, I know already there's some people that have requested about matching. Sean Callagy is one of them. We're in talks about what the level of that match is going to be. He's already committed to at least $1,000 match, which we appreciate. Michael Spiken did a match earlier last week. I think it's today's Saturday. I have no idea. Today's Saturday. Last Saturday, he went on live, said he would match up to a few $100s. He hit that in a couple minutes. Through that campaign, I think we raised, $500 or $700 in an hour, and also his wife then committed to join our team, fundraise, and, bring on a couple hospitals who we've already served, Montefiore in Rockland. And I forget the other one. It's in New Jersey. I want to say Lakeland, if that makes sense. Don't quote me on that. But, we're onboarding hospitals that we know people in and that we have fundraising team members that are supporting specifically. We're matching funds from the general fund and, we just keep growing it. So I'll leave you with that. But I appreciate the support from all of you, spreading the message, all of the contributions that each of you, has made on your own. We're very grateful for that. It helps us keep going. And, we're going to continue. I really think that, within a week or two, we're probably going to be close to six figures. And, that's great. It really feels great to have that impact. And, there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of people contributing.
Yes. And yeah, when I saw the post like a week and a half ago, it was such a great cause that I was just, moved to make my donation. But I also want to pledge right here, right now, another $100 just for those people who are just to get the ball rolling. It's such a great cause, Nick. So
Thank you. That's very kind. We appreciate that. That's amazing. There's actually been, and that's amazing to see too. There's been several people who have donated multiple times. Because listen, a lot of people will, I'm one of them. I'll throw some money, whatever it is, to a GoFundMe because the cause touches me, right? Or because I like the person, I want to support whatever they're doing, right? And, then when you actually align with the impact and you feel it, and there's an additional need to go back, really says something about the cause. So I thank you for that. And, we'll keep it going.
yeah,
We're
absolutely.
really going to reach a lot of people.
Nick, can you tell us a little bit about the masks and the PPE? When are they expected? What's going on with that?
So the first masks went out just about a half hour ago to a Brooklyn hospital. 120 masks went out with meals. Monday, I think it is, we have a scheduled delivery in the Bronx to Lincoln Medical Center, which a friend of mine asked to help. She's a doctor in LA. She asked to help one of her girlfriends who's a doctor in that hospital because the notes they're comparing are, she showed me text messages. They're not for the faint of heart, let's put it that way. And there was an immediate need for PPE for that. So in addition, the small token of food that we're sending, I wanted to make that one of the first hospitals that we added masks to. So we're adding 120 masks to their, I believe it's their ER and their ICU on Monday. They'll get that Monday evening. And then hopefully by the end of next week, give or take Thursday, Friday, I think we should be up and running pending the logistics and the deliveries from China to have masks going to these, going to all these.
How many are the delivery? What is the quantity of that? Do you know?
Of which coming in
from China?
Coming in.
Oh, I mean, we have various people that are dealing with PPE. I mean, one of them just did, this is public knowledge because it was in newspapers yesterday. They did a 500-piece order of masks to NYCHA, the New York City Housing Authority. And it was actually in the, I don't remember which media outlet it was, but the quote unquote anonymous person is my friend who undercut whatever the amount that the mayor was getting, the dollar amount, by over $1. So, you're starting to see people taking advantage of that and gouging in various different things. This was the opposite of that. This person was highlighted anonymously for actually undercutting and serving a purpose, which is a beautiful thing. And that's a person who has committed to giving us a large quantity of masks to support this program. So, they're probably going to commit, well, not probably, they're definitely going to commit thousands of masks to us. It's just a matter of exactly when. There's customs things that are going on right now, which they're good. It's logistics, but it's for safety. It's a necessary thing. So, everyone wants everything now and yesterday, but the reality of it is these shipments are taking 7 to 10 days. There are some people that are holding inventory and stock in the US. That makes it a lot easier. So we're trying to work with some of them. We have some people that are considering donating various different, types of PPE, masks, or et cetera, to what we're doing. So again, work in progress, but yeah. I really appreciate your help and your time. I do have to jump off to another call.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you. This is a beautiful cause, a selfless cause. Again, anybody listening out there, you want to help, go to GoFundMe and check out Hospitality. Thank you so much, Nick. I'll leave the last words to you, Tom LaGreca. Raj.
Thank you, Hala. Raj, go ahead. Go ahead, Raj.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. You know, the work has been spectacular, and it just feels so good to contribute this way. And like Hala's been saying, the impact is immediate. You know, $25 will go to you know, feeding 5 full meals for healthcare workers. 100 could could feed a whole ER team. So such important work. Very grateful to be here on this team. Thank you so much, Nick.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. Thank you from myself as well. Thank you, Hala. Thank you, Raj. And just let me say, in addition, the second piece of this is just as important. If any of you out there in the medical community can get us in touch with the appropriate people at the hospital for Nick's charity to deal with, then all of these great funds that are coming in will have a place to go. And that's just as important as the front end. So thank you all so much.
Thank you so much, guys. We'll do this again soon.